Hi, I'm Tim Orndorff, CE Mid-Atlantic. I'm the ductless guy, and we're here to shoot a video on some features of the ductless mini splits that we have that you can gain access to get diagnostics and operational characteristics of the unit for helping servicing or just checking operation of the system. We have a 1-to-1 38 MA series here that we're going to do first. The MG series, which is the multi-head, is a little different procedure. We will show you how to do that as well. Now, to get into the feature, you will need the remotes. The old remote and the new remote will both do the same thing. The only difference is the new remote has individual buttons for the LED and the swing, and the old remote will have the LED and the swing twinned with another button. It's the same procedure, it's the same order to hit them and to enter the mode. Okay, to enter the mode, you would hit the LED button and the swing button 3 consecutive times within a 10-second window. So hit LED 3 times, and then swing 3 times. And then you should hear a long beep, and now you're into the mode. The first signal that comes up is your T1 sensor, although it looks like an R, that's a T. And there's your T2 sensor, your T3 sensor. To move forward and backwards, it's just the LED and swing. It just moves forward and backwards. So it's telling us that right now a T1 sensor, which is a coil sensor, is 23 degrees. I'm sorry, the ambient sensor. That's 23 degrees. Now that's Celsius. All temperature measurements will be in Celsius. So you have to have an app or something to convert it. So that's the T2 sensor, which is the coil, is also 24 degrees Celsius. We just have the fan running, so there's no conditioning happening. The T3 sensor is the coil sensor on the outdoor unit. Since it's not running, is just room temperature or ambient temperature. And your T4 sensor, which is your outdoor ambient, which is 23 because that's what the room is, because nothing's running. Some of these codes are not, some of them you'll find in there is not particular to this model. So your TP is your compressor discharge sensor. And that is 23 degrees Celsius because it's not running. So you can check to see what each sensor is reading, or what the board is sensing, see if you have an issue with the unit. The FR is your frequency requested to the compressor, which is 0 because we don't have a call for cooling. And your F and the small r is what your compressor is actually running at. So there's, you can see what the board is asking for and what the compressor is running at for charge issues, things like that, blockages, restrictions, things of that nature. Your 1F, so this is the indoor fan RPM setting, and it's saying it's 46. That's a hexadecimal equation you have to do. So you take 16 times the 4, and then you add the 7. Or the 6, whatever number's in that column, and then you multiply that by 10, and that gives you the RPM of the fan. And the outdoor equation is the same thing. Well, this is off because we don't have the unit running, but the outdoor fan CFM is the same, or RPM is the same. The LA is your EXV angle. It will give you the same type of equation to multiply out to see how far the valve is open or closed. The ST or the CT at the T, the CT is your compressor runtime. It's how many minutes it's been running continuously, and your ST is how long it's been off. And then the rest of these on the MA is items that are not programmed into this board. So those are the 6 or 7 items you can find on this unit. Now, if you're working on it and you don't hit a button for 20 seconds or so, you can see right now I'm on B1. So after 20 seconds, it will leave this mode And when you go back into it, you'll pick right back up on that B1. See, we're back to the temperature of the room. So LED 3 times, swing 3 times. Back to B1, and then you can continue on. And the swing button goes backwards, and the LED button goes forwards. So that way you can find where you're at, or where you need to be, or where you want to leave it at for the next time you enter this mode on this particular piece of equipment. So now we have the MG series, which is the multi-head with 2 matching high walls. And to get to the informational characteristics of the unit and operational and diagnostics for those codes, they are gained from the outdoor unit. And what you have to do is remove the top and also remove the black cover covering the control boards. That is where we need to be. Now on a smaller unit like this, is just a 2-head, there's only 1 board in here that has it in it. The larger 3 and 4 ton units will have 2 boards where you have to take the cover off of the side to get to it. It's always on the main PCB board, not the compressor IPM board, the one with the big capacitors. Always going to be on the main control board, part of the control board. All right, you see, as soon as we took the top off, it's reading 0, 0. That is an indication of a running state. So we don't have any compressor frequency. We don't have any faults. We don't have anything inputted in there that the unit's doing. So it is 0, 0. It's just waiting for something to happen, or a call to happen for it to start displaying something. If you go to option 1, it tells you that we have 2 heads communicating with this outdoor unit. So if you have a 4-head system and this only comes up 2, you know 2 of them is not talking to the unit. That's an indication that you have a communication problem, something of that nature for servicing. It will also tell you on option 3, 4, 5, and 6 is each head's capacity. So 1.0 means that is a 1-ton unit. So if you have 4 units and you can see 2 1-tonners but not a 9 and an 18, you know the 9 and the 18 are the 2 that's not communicating. And then you can just scroll through, each one of them till you find what you're looking for. And then if dash means there's nothing pertaining to that item, if you don't hit anything or touch anything, it will automatically go back to 0, 0, waiting for another input. And then when you start over again, you're going to start back with 1. Unlike the MA, it will start back with 1, so you have to go down to the number you're looking for. One of the codes or one of the values is frequency, amps, and one of them is voltage to the unit. So you can check to see what your voltage, what the board is reading voltage coming in, or the amps that it's producing. Things of that nature for diagnostic purposes. It will also tell you EXV angles of all the valves in the unit. It will tell you the sensors, the T1s, the T2Bs. This unit has a T2B sensor, which is the evaporator outlet temperature sensor in the unit, so it knows what the temperature of the refrigerant is coming back from each unit. It will tell you what those values are. And again, everything is in Celsius. You have to convert it. Every temperature measurement will be in Celsius with this. So there is a lot of information that can be gained by scrolling through those codes or those operational indicators that can be gained on these units. One of the things it has in it, again referring back to the service manual, you'll find out exactly what code is. It will give you if the compressor has any type of decrease in frequency for any reason, it will tell you what sensor or if it's an amp thing, it's a power thing, if it's a sensor thing. If the compressor is decreasing in frequency, it will tell you why. So there's a lot of good things to gain by experiencing this, getting used to it, and getting acclimated to how these things work. One thing we will note, this is live When you're doing this, capacitors, everything's keeping charge. Be very, very careful putting your hands in there, but sometimes we have to do it to gain for diagnostics and getting operational issues with the unit. We have to reach in there. Just be very, very careful what you touch and what you can and cannot touch.